Well, good morning everybody from Tenerife South Airport. Hopefully you can see the live stream, and we've got some good stuff coming in this morning if you're watching on replay. So I guess some of you will be, because was it Wednesday today? I forget. It's Wednesday morning. When you're on holiday you forget the days, right? And so some of you will be at work, and clearly I'm not, but normally I would do this during a weekend, and there is a weekend one coming up in a few days' time. I'll talk a bit more about that as we go, but today specifically I wanted to catch one of the final United 757s, the direct service from Newark in the US, up there in New Jersey. This is the third to last flight that operates from New Jersey with United this season. So we've got two more this week and then that's it. So this one coming up now is from Cologne, a Ryanair 737-800. Let's just watch this one land and we'll talk a bit more about today's stream. So that was the Ryanair. No, it wasn't. My mistake, folks. Apologies. It was the SmartLynx from Saarbrücken. The next one up is the 737-800. Oh, what was that? What on earth was that? It's like a wind swirl coming over me. That's very weird. Gosh, did you hear that? I'm not sure. But anyway, good morning. Looks very dry, like a 777. Rest for the win. Yeah, it is very dry, like a 777, I guess. Yeah, sure. It is very dry. It has been very dry. Yeah, no rain forecast for the next 10 days, according to the weather forecast. And fortunately, I'm here for the next 10 days. So yeah, as you know, the Canaries can be quite windy. We've got not such a bad wind this morning, actually. About a 5-mile-an-hour wind, according to the forecast. So not too bad. But yeah, if you've just joined me, welcome, thanks for joining. Sorry it's a weekday, sorry some of you will be working, I get that, but the reason, as I said at the start, if you're rejoining or if you're just joining live, is there is a United 757 on its way in from Newark, New Jersey, and that's one of the last seasonal services down here into Tenerife before they basically close down shop here. United is a seasonal service down here. It's the only direct service to the Canaries in the summer. It's the only direct service anywhere in the year, in fact. And it comes from New Jersey. It's about a 7-hour flight. On Saturday, I think it's Saturday or Sunday this weekend, it operates its very final flight of the season. And then we don't see United or the 757 or any direct service from the US to the Canaries again until next Easter. That's sort of March, April 2024. So yeah, just wanted to catch that really. So we've got coming up now, so this is the Ryanair service from Cologne. It's a fairly short flight, this one, about 4 hours 18, so similar to the flights that we get from the UK, of course, but I'll just stay quiet for a moment and then you can watch her land. So there we have the 737-800, and I'm hoping that the comments are working okay here. Looks very dry. As for the wind, that was the last comment that I saw. Yep, there's that wind again. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like a real strong swirling sound after the aircraft land, and that must be the wake turbulence, I'm guessing. I've never ever heard that before, but yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? Let me know if you can hear the sound okay. I'm on a new mic setup today. It should be good, but yeah, hopefully you can hear me okay. Hopefully the view's okay, hopefully the vision's okay. Had some technical problems this morning. For some reason the phone just wouldn't go into vertical mode at all. In fact, let's try that again. Let's just see if that'll work. Nope, rotate device back. Orientation is locked. I don't know why that is. If anybody's watching, or if you're on replay, for some reason on YouTube Live, my iPhone won't go into horizontal mode. It just keeps telling me orientation is locked. And I'm not sure why that is. Because I certainly haven't intentionally set that. Unless there's a setting here that I can change, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, if you are live, if you're watching live, or if you're watching on repeat, just let me know what the sound quality is like. Because like I say, it's all experimentation with this kind of thing, isn't it? Yep, can hear you. And the afterburners. The afterburners. Wow, yeah. 737 and the afterburners. That would be good, wouldn't it? That, yeah, but thanks for that. Thank you for that. Thank you muchly for letting me know. But that's weird, isn't it? That sound. It's just sort of whistling through. And I've never heard that before. And I've done a few of these lives now down here in the Canaries, in fact, at all airports. So, let's have a look at what's on today's schedule. Just going to be here for an hour or so, not the usual spot. And that's purely because the time of year, with the sun where it is, I would normally be across the other side of the airport, but the other side of the runway rather, but that's just not good for spotting at this time of the year as the sun's fairly low. So you might be able to see this light aircraft coming in now. It's not showing on my flight radar, but then it wouldn't be. It's general aviation, I guess. VFR rules. There you see, just coming into the vision there, top left. There it is, yeah. So, let's just have a look and make sure everything's functioning okay between flights. So the next flight up, it is quiet down here in Tenerife South today. It's a bit of a shoulder period at the moment in that all the schools have gone back. Hard to tell Agent H with you as he doesn't cast a, he doesn't cast a shadow. It's Agent H that's making the noises, you know. Making that swirly noise. It's just to remind me that he's here. He just swirls in and swirls out. But you might be able to hear just over my shoulder there, there is a Binter aircraft departing now to La Palma. Very short flight, about 18 minutes, and a good airline. And which reminds me, if you are watching on repeat, and I don't think we've got anybody on the live at the moment, but if you're watching on repeat, if you are down in the Canaries and if you want to do some inter-island hopping, Canary Fly at the moment has a special offer on for €5 flights. €5 flights, you don't need to be a resident, you just need to book in advance. You just go onto canaryfly.com. It's one of the two main turboprop inter-island airlines around here at the moment, down here in the Canaries. So get along to Canary Fly if you want to do some inter-island hopping around, and then see how you get on. So as I say, €5 flights. I've never seen them that low before, but worth it if you want to just do some island hopping as I did before. And there is a Binter video on the channel which you may have seen before. So if you can sense a bit of noise coming from the mic, it's not vibrations or anything from me. I'm not vibrating. It's the turboprop just over my shoulder there, which is just heading out to La Palma, the neighbouring island, which of course was made famous on the news last year because of the volcanic activities. So, what have we got coming up in the next hour or so? Fairly quiet, like I say. The reality is that the older people, the retired people who spend their sort of winters, northern winters down here in the Canaries, they don't tend to arrive until about October time. And of course, in Northern Europe, all the schools have gone back. So the flying programme down here at Tenerife South and up in the north is a bit reduced, especially down here in the south, because Tenerife South handles all of the charter aircraft, the charter flights, the TUIs, the EasyJets, the Ryanairs, etc., etc. Plus, of course, the airline that I flew down here with on Saturday, which is good old British Airways. A packed A321, half that Airbus A321 was Club Europe, believe it or not. Very, very popular with the proactive upgrades, especially at the moment if you're looking for BA status. And I shouldn't really promote this because the lounges are absolutely rammed at the moment because of this. Well, I think they are. It's disputed as to why the lounges are busy, but I think it's because of the tier point promotion. So if you book a British Airways holiday for more than, let me think, for more than 5 nights, as long as you include a hotel or car hire included with the flight, you get double tier points. So effectively, down here, because it's already what's known as an 80 tier point route, so you get double the tier points if you fly to the Canaries and some of the longer European routes. You're actually going to get, or I'll get from this, not just the 160 points round trip that I would normally have got, 80 tier points each way. I'll actually get 320 tier points for this one trip. And if you translate that into status, that means that in theory, well, not in theory, it's true, you would get, excuse me, BA bronze status in one trip. And in two trips, you would get BA silver status, so 300 points required for bronze, 600 for silver, respectively. But of course, I think I've mentioned this on previous videos, I'm trying to get my gold card back, which is 1,500 points. And just last week, I was in Dubai via Doha with Qatar Airways, and I'll bring the video to the channel quite soon. An excellent airline, loved it, really good. Qatar Airways business class, it was probably the best business class service I've ever had, and it was really, really good, really enjoyed it. So let's have a look on the questions. Hard to tell H&H is with you. H&H, what a reputation that guy's got. Or girl, could be a girl, we're not sure. So let's have a look on the schedules for today, Wednesday the 20th of September. Oh, I think it's Wednesday the 20th. Yes, it is indeed. As I say, you lose track of time when you're on holiday, don't you? So we have got the Binter flight landed at 5 to 9, the Geneva flight landed at 10 to, the New York flight from Newark EWR is due in at 10 to 10, so about 20 minutes from now. If you're on flight radar, it is flight, let me tell you, it is flight UA248, United Airlines 248, a Boeing 757-200, registration November 34137. And it is estimated arrival at 51 minutes past the hour, so exactly 20 minutes from now. I can see on the map it's just started to descend now. Again, a relatively quick flight. Let's just have a look on the map. So it set off just 5 hours and 52 minutes ago, so really a touch over 6 hours. That's not too bad from the States, but then the Canaries, you know, you are that much sort of further west towards the US, I guess. So I can see we've got two on the live video now, so welcome to you, whoever you are. Introduce yourselves if you wish. The comments are open, go for it. Let me know what you're doing, where you are, and what your favourite aircraft is. And also, equally, do you like the 757 as much as I do? Because it is my favourite aircraft. So today's aircraft, today's United 757 is a 23-year-old 757, so slightly younger than the Jet 2 fleet, if you're familiar with the Jet 2 752s, the 757-200s. They're slightly newer, they're slightly older rather, but nevertheless a 757 is a 757, and of course in the US you can still very much get the 757-300 with Delta Airlines. So yeah, let's just have a look and see what's happening elsewhere in the Canaries, and I'll bring that update to you shortly. So we can see there's a few aircraft going into Gran Canaria. Lanzarote's busy this morning and very busy this afternoon. Yeah, let's just have a look and see what's happening elsewhere in the Canaries, and I'll bring that update to you shortly. So we can see there's a few aircraft going into Gran Canaria. Lanzarote's busy this morning and very busy this afternoon. Yeah, we can see there's lots of movements, lots of aircraft movements in the Canary Islands this morning. As you'd imagine, it's getting towards 10 o'clock this morning. There is no time difference between the UK and the Canaries at this time of the year. So it's 9:30 here, it's 9:30 in Northern England. It's 9:30 in the whole of England. And of course it's 5 o'clock somewhere, but not here and not in England. Well, basically the point of saying that is that what you find is that, like when I come down here on my short 2 or 3 day trips, because I love the Canary Islands so much, as you all know, what you tend to find is that the first flights of Northern Europe, because they're sort of 4.5 hours in duration, tend to land around this time of the morning. So you start to see the first of the sort of the Scandinavian arrivals, the UK arrivals, the German arrivals, and France, and so on and so forth. You don't often see, in fact, you never see flights landing from Northern Europe at sort of 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, because that would just be an unearthly time to leave the UK. So the low-cost airlines tend to get their aircraft out 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, which gives them an arrival time down here in the Canaries of around 10 o'clock. 10:30, and that's when it starts to get really busy. So this hour between 9 and 10, especially, as I say, because we're in that shoulder period at the moment, tends to be fairly quiet. It's a weekday as well, so you get a lot of business travellers, but it's all good. It's all good, and I can see that our 757 is now at just 9,500 feet. So making good progress there, just south of La Gomera, descending down through 9,000 feet right now, and estimated to be here in 8 minutes. 8 minutes. So actually at 43 past the hour, which means it's caught up some time, because actually it did leave. It was scheduled to arrive here at 9:45. So despite the fact it left Newark last night about 50 minutes behind schedule, it's actually arriving 2 minutes early. And that's of course because the airline's building a bit of fat to their timetables and schedules, as well as the fact that, the aircraft's obviously made up some time en route. So in terms of today, let's go back quickly to talk about today. Apologies to you all. I know it's a weekday. I know it's not ideal. And I can see that we don't have many people on the live stream at the moment. So about 5 at the moment. So, compared to a weekend where you'd see 30 or 40 people on the live stream. So it's just one of those things, unfortunately. I did want to catch the UA 757, but the good news is, I've got a scheduled live for Sunday evening at 8 o'clock when the sun goes down. So that should be really good. That is, let me just see what the date is. So that's Sunday the 24th of September at 8 o'clock. It's scheduled on my YouTube channel, so all you need to do is look at the live section, and then what you can do is you can set a reminder to remind you when it goes live at 8 o'clock. I'll be there on the dot, and I've got 2 special AvGeek guests joining me as well. So you'll be familiar with Neil Turner. You might be familiar with Paul Convey of Manchester Airport, who is a real fan of doing the lives. He's very experienced, very good speaker on the lives, and tied into everything, all things Manchester Airport, so he can tell you more about the Airbus A330 with Jet 2, and so on and so forth. So all good, should be good. Sunday evening will come from the other side of the runway, because just as the sun sets, it looks really good as the sun setting in the background of the Mount Tady there. It's all good. So don't forget, Sunday evening, 8 o'clock, it's the same time as here. Look at the live on YouTube on my channel. You can set a reminder, and then you can come and join us, and you can meet Neil and Paul, and they're going to join in the evening at some point. I'm not sure when. I've left it fairly open, but I'm sure that Neil and Paul are watching. Chaps, you've got the invitations. You're welcome to join as and when you wish. If anybody else wants to join the live, you're also welcome. It's not just the preserve of the AvGeek community. We're all friends here. We all have one shared passion, which is flying and aviation and civil aviation and aircraft and so on and so forth. So don't forget, if you're sat there chuntering on thinking all he ever does is invite AvGeeks, well, let me change your mind about that. All you need to do is get in touch with me. You can get in touch with me via Instagram, in the Sky Neil. Drop me a note, let me know you want to join, and I'll send you the link. Or drop a note in the comments below for this video that you'd like to join, and I'll send you the link. You're welcome to join on Sunday evening. Have a chat, introduce yourself, let us know what motivates you, what aircraft you like, where you like flying, do you like Qatar Airways? All of these questions and more when you introduce yourself on the channel, and we'll have a chat as we go. So everyone is very welcome. We're a very all-inclusive channel here. We're not like some of the other AvGeek channels that are the preserve of those people with like 1 million subscribers, and you have to be a millionaire or you have to own an airline before you get invited to come and talk. Like I say, we're all friends here. Everyone's welcome. There's an open door policy. It's just YouTube requires me to send you a link before you can join the YouTube lives alongside me as host. So let me know if you want to join. You are very, very welcome. So what we've got coming up now is the Zurich flight, the Edelweiss from Zurich. That's been in the air for 3 hours and 49 minutes, an Airbus 320 from good old Switzerland, a great country. Good morning to you, Burger85. How are you? Hope you're well. I'm live from Tenerife, Dan, as you can see. Where else? And yeah, looking forward to our trip to Malaga in a few weeks, Dan. It just occurred to me that it's only 4 weeks away now, isn't it? I'll have to look up what it's like to do lives from Malaga Airport. If anybody knows, drop a comment, let me know. Neil T, will Neil T be able to stay awake for that long? Well, it depends if he's been drinking or not, doesn't it, really? Yeah, good old Neil T. He's, I was going to say, slightly younger than me. Well, he is actually, yeah. I'll be honest. Neil is a bit younger than me, but he's a busy boy. He has a busy job, he has a busy life, and sometimes, yeah, he does fall asleep during the lives, doesn't he? But, you know, we all get to that age where it just becomes a little bit too much. But hopefully he'll be well rested over the weekend so he can come and chat to us. But we've got Dan, we've got Aris for the win, we've got an Airbus 320 from Zurich just inbound now. You'll hopefully be able to see it on the scope in just a moment. And it's a pity we just couldn't go horizontal. It's annoying that. I'll have to figure that out for Sunday. Here she is. Now, just as she lands, in a few seconds, just listen for that whistling. I'm going to turn my microphone towards the runway. This is an Airbus, so it's different to what we've seen with the 737s previously. I'm just going to go quiet for a few seconds and let's just see if we can hear that whistling. You can watch the planes depending on where they're landing, take off. Right, okay, thanks Dan. Yep, we'll certainly look into that. Let's just see if we get that wake turbulence. It's normally a few seconds after it lands. That's interesting. Nothing yet. Now that was an Airbus 320, so we got the wake turbulence, that swirling, that whooshing noise from the Boeings, the 737s. So if any of you physicists out there can tell me why, it's the first time I've ever heard that. So if anybody knows, if you can tell me why, then do let me know. Pop a link down, or not a link even, just pop a comment down. Just let me know what's going down. We've got a 737 coming up immediately behind this one. I can just see it now. It'll be landing in the next 60 seconds or so from Milan. So let's just see if we get that swirling noise again as these aircraft land. It seems to be peculiar to the 737. So if anybody understands aircraft engineering, aerodynamics and all that, let me know because I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious to know. And if you're just joining us, good morning and welcome from Tenerife South Airport here in the Canary Islands, the island of eternal spring indeed. We are broadcasting live for the next few minutes. We're waiting for the United 757 from Newark. It's the last week of operation for this season for United on the direct service down here. After that, we don't see United come back down here until Easter 24, whenever Easter is. I think Easter's early next year, so probably March. But anyway, here's the 737. Now, ordinarily you'd think, well, so what? It's the 737 of Ryanair. There's hundreds of them. There is. But what we've heard this morning is this whooshing sound as wake turbulence, I believe. So let's just see if we get it again. There it is. There it is. Did you hear that? That is eerie. That has a real eerie sound to it. And it's peculiar to the 737. Well, you were with me, ladies and gents, so you didn't hear it on the Airbus 320. That is the preserve of a 737, and I don't know why. That is peculiar. So again, if you've just joined us, folks, we're just waiting for the United 757. It's next up to land. This is the most exciting flight that Tenerife South, in fact, I think the whole of the Canary Islands sees, or it's one of the most exciting ones because it's, to my knowledge, the only direct service between here and the US. There was a gap of a few years where there was no direct flight between the US and here, but they've brought that back. But as I said, it's a seasonal service, so this is the last week that it's operating. It's just on approach now. I can see the landing lights in the distance. It is literally, well, 1 minute away according to flight radar. probably 2 or 3 minutes. I'm guessing it's currently at an altitude of 1,300 feet barometric altitude. And if you're looking on flight radar with me, the flight you're looking for is United Airlines UA248. That's UA248. A 23-year-old Boeing 757-200. Very exciting. Very exciting for an av geek like me, especially because, as you all know, I love the 757. It's my favourite aircraft of all time. So you are very welcome on the Moments in the Sky Live this morning. Just while we're waiting for the 757, I'll just give another quick plug. I am down here unusually in the Canaries for 2.5 weeks. So I'm going to do another live this Sunday evening. So mark it in your diaries. If you want to be reminded, just go to my YouTube channel, click on live and you'll see it's being promoted there. All you need to do is click remind me. What will happen is 8 o'clock Sunday night, you'll get a reminder to come and join me, Neil Turner and Paul Convey, two of my av geek friends. One's based in Manchester, one's based in Hertfordshire, but essentially they're all av geeks. But like I said before, if you want to join one of these lives, introduce yourself, have a chat, then you are very welcome to do so. Just drop a comment in the notes below and you can come and join. So here it is, folks. This is what we've been waiting for all morning. The 757 direct from Newark, and I'm just going to go quiet so you can enjoy it. And there she is. So there you go, that's the 757-200 of United Airlines, and the, in fact, final one. Not the final one, but one of the final aircraft, one of the final direct services from Newark down here for this season. So that flight operates twice more this week. It arrives on Thursday and Saturday this week, I think. Thursday and Saturday it departs. It spends about 2.5 hours on the ground here, 2.5 hours turnaround time, and then it does a UE and goes back to Newark, and then presumably operates domestic flights in the US. So very exciting. I really wanted to see that this week, so that's box ticked. But like I said, we are facing down the barrels today, unfortunately this morning, of, yes, I know it's a work day, I know it's not ideal doing lives on a work day whilst you're at work. It's not even as if I did it before you went to work, is it? But that's just because I was largely driven by wanting to see the UA 757, which I've now done. So as I say, it's due out about 12 o'clock, 12:30. It flies back to Newark. It's back in Thursday and Saturday, and then that's it for the season. So what's coming up next? The airport goes fairly quiet now, so it's 9:47 now. We've got let's have a look. We've got a Brussels Airlines A320 coming in from Brussels, obviously. That's been in the air for 3 hours and 55. That is about 11 minutes away. Coming up behind that, we've got I think that's about it really, folks. I think that's it. Let's have a look at the departures board. So, and then we can have a quick chat, because I've got a question for you as well. I've got a question for you, and I'm going to put this question in to one of my future videos as well. But stand by for that question, because it's quite a big question, and I'm keen to get your thoughts in a very constructive way as to how I perhaps reposition my videos in future. So, yeah, so departures wise, we've seen the Binter, the AT-76 go out. Then we've got the return Geneva flight with EasyJet and a few between 10 and 11. So let's watch the Brussels Airlines flight come in a few minutes' time. But before we do that, I've got a question for you, and I want you to answer this. I'd really appreciate it if you could. Danny Egan, good morning, Danny. How are you? Did I miss the 757? I think you may have done, Danny, but you can watch it on replay. So I'll upload this video once I've finished, and I'll upload it to my channel, and then you can have a look. So don't worry, Danny. It has just landed, unfortunately, just about 3 minutes ago. But don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry for two reasons, Danny. I'll tell you why. So I'll come back to my question in a moment. Firstly, don't worry because, as I say, you can watch it on replay. So once this video's finished, it'll be uploaded to the channel. So you can just go have a look, and you're looking for probably, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes into the video, Danny, something like that. It landed at just before quarter to the hour, quarter to 10. But don't worry, that's the first thing. The second thing is I'm going live again here from here, Danny, on Sunday evening at 8 o'clock in the evening. So Danny, for anybody who doesn't know, so Danny's a member of our Patreon group on the channel, recently joined. So his mug, keyring and stickers they're literally, Danny, sat on my desk as I messaged you the other day. They're sat on my desk at home. Once I get back, I'll send it to you. I'll get them, I'll get your details and I'll pop it in the post to you. So the other thing, Danny, is I'm going live at 8 o'clock on Sunday evening. So if you just go on my YouTube channel and you look on, if you look on lives, it's on there. So you just click, and I'm sure you're familiar with this, you just click on remind me, and it'll give you a reminder at 8 o'clock. And the reason for mentioning that, Danny, is that I'm also being joined by Neil Turner, who you'll be familiar with, also a Patreon member. So, and Neil was actually the founding Patreon member, actually. He was my first ever Patreon all those years ago. And I'd just stepped off a flight on Airbus A330, the Aer Lingus seasonal service from Dublin down to Malaga. So if you don't know, you can fly on that, the wide-body A330. It's an early start. I think it leaves Dublin about 5:45 or 6 in the morning, but you can pay extra to go in the business class cabin, and it was a really good experience. But again, I made a video of it, so all good. Danny, thank you so much. £5, very generous, Danny. There was absolutely no need to do that. I really appreciate that. It's very nice of you indeed. Thank you, sir. That's very, very generous. As I say, your Patreon membership would have been sufficient, but thanks, Danny. I really, really appreciate that. I'll toast a beer to you later on tonight in my hotel. Much appreciated. So that's that. Yeah, so that's all good. So the question I had for you is this, and take it the way it's meant, right? So I'm going to ask the same question when I do my Qatar Airways video in a few weeks. But one of the things, obviously, no YouTuber will ever tell you this, but one of the things that every YouTuber does is they look at other people who do similar type of stuff. So I watch videos from other vloggers who do travel type videos, not just flight videos, but travel videos as well. And one of the things that I've observed over the last sort of 2 or 3 years is the very successful ones, the ones who do really well on YouTube, who have hundreds of thousands of followers. And apparently it's not all about followers, it's about the number of video hits you get, the number of people who watch your video. But one of the things that kind of occurs to me is the ones who do really well are the ones who just spend the whole video moaning about stuff. So they're the kind of people who will say, well, I don't like the colour of the toilet roll in the bathrooms on board, or there was a potato missing from my main dish. And then they spend the entire video moaning about, oh my goodness, how the airline standards have dropped because there was a missing seat button or something. And I don't know. My question is should I moan more and just spend the whole video complaining about stuff? Because that would undoubtedly drive a whole load of viewers, a whole load of new subscribers and new people interested in my channel. And that's I know it's a strange thing to say, but I've looked at these videos so often, and I do quite enjoy them. Don't get me wrong, I do. I look at videos. I'm not going to name the individuals. You probably know who they are, but I just think when I look at my videos, I kind of think, well, it's like all they do is spend the whole video moaning about the slightest little things. And I remember back to when I made a negative video about TUI. You might remember, you might have seen the TUI video, the 767. When I flew from, we've got a comment, RPCR, nice to see you enjoying. I am enjoying your island. I am indeed, RPCR. I love the island. I love Tenerife. I love the whole of the Canary Islands. I come so very often. I come every other month when I can, whenever I get time off work. So yes, RPCR, I am enjoying your island very much. Thank you. Yes, totally agree. I used to like Mr. Phillips, but he's far too commercial. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I like Noel. I think Noel's a great guy. I talked to Noel off the grid, as they say, take it offline, but I speak to Noel quite a lot, and he's a nice chap. I like, Noel achieved his dream and got to go and live in America, and there are a lot of people who want to follow that dream, of course, and he's done it. Huge respect to him. He's made a huge success out of what he's done, and very, very passionate about what he does as well, clearly. But yeah, I think you know, if I go back to the videos where I've moaned, which is not many, because that's not really where I want to take the channel, but I think the videos where I've sat and moaned are like the TUI 767. I love the 767, but I just found it. The service on board was rubbish. They had nothing on board to eat, and this was a 4.5-hour flight from Gran Canaria back up to Manchester on one of the 2 remaining 767s in the TUI UK fleet. And I got loads of new subscribers. It was weird. From that one video, I got 80 new subscribers. It was all very strange, and I didn't expect that. I thought I'd get a barrage of abuse, which I didn't. All I got was constructive stuff saying you might have just caught them on an off day, give them another chance. Or the other side of the fence were people just saying, yep, I agree, TUI has gone down the pan a bit. You know, we've got another aircraft coming in, so I'll just stop talking there. And we'll let... off on a customer call. Speak soon, eh? Yep, thanks Dan, I'll catch you soon. If not before, I'll see you in Malaga. Brussels Airlines from Brussels there, obviously. I don't know why I keep saying that, Brussels Airlines. It's obvious where it's come from, I guess. So, yeah, Brussels Airlines, A320. Probably not going to get that whistling from the... we're not going to get that whistling noise, are we? But, yeah, all good, all good. Lovely weather down here this morning. Lovely weather. Cracking day, in fact. Ah, we did get a bit of swirling noise there. I don't know if you picked that. I don't know whether the mic will have picked that up. Very slight wake turbulence noise there, but the 737's very pronounced. It's like a swirling, ghostly kind of noise, and I've never heard that before. World's most dangerous flight. Screw loose on my tray table. Yeah, that's it. That's what they say, isn't it? That clickbait thing, isn't it? That's right. That's what they do, is clickbait. So what's the clickbait? Yeah, good old clickbait. It's world's most dangerous flight, a screw loose on my table. It's true. So they get you to watch, they bring you in with these clickbait titles and then say, well, you know, it was the world's most dangerous flight. One of the vloggers who I watch, he was flying back from Tenerife on a Ryanair flight, and he said his clickbait title was something like, I nearly died. Or again, as you said, Danny, world's most dangerous flight. Oh no, it was RS for the win who said that. But yeah, it was that kind of one of the vloggers from Tenerife on a 737 Ryanair flight back to East Midlands. He said, world's most dangerous flight. I nearly exploded. And all it was he'd bought a sandwich in the terminal before he got on board, because he didn't want to shell out, obviously, because let's face it, you know, food on board flights on any airline is quite expensive these days. Anyway, it always was. And he said, oh, well, and he died. And what it was he opened his sandwich, and because of the pressurisation in the wrapping of it as the aircraft ascended, it became vacuum packed effectively, even more than usual. So it made a popping sound when he opened it. And that was apparently the world's most dangerous flight. Who knew? It's that sort of bizarre kind of clickbait that's all rather weird. But yeah, it's all very strange, isn't it? So I don't know. Let me know if you think, you know, pop a comment down. If you're reading the video afterwards, if you're watching the video afterwards, rather, let me know. You know, should I start moaning more? Should I start picking faults with the slightest little thing? Because it does bring views in. It brings subscribers. I know that from when I did the TUI video, and there wasn't really that much abuse. I got one or two people who said, you know, you shouldn't have reported on the negative aspect of it. Airline personnel work really hard, which they do. I would never deny that. I didn't say on the video that they didn't work hard. I think they do work hard, especially on these flights down to the Canaries, because it's the same crew that flies back. So if a crew does a sort of 10-hour flight, then they're going to have a night stop, maybe 2 nights, sort of the Caribbean type flights. But down here, it's hard work. It's brutal on them, because it's the same crew that does a 4.5-hour flight, an hour turnaround, and 4.5 hours back. And that's on a good day. So that's assuming there are no delays from pushback to taking off, no delays down route, no problems getting the aircraft back. You know, if you think, even if there's an hour sort of delay at some point in that whole operation, that's a 12 or 13 hour working day for that crew. That's hard. That's really hard. That's brutal. It's hard on anybody, even as accustomed to flying as crews are. So I would never take away from the fact that flight crews work really hard. They do, they absolutely do, to make sure that we can fly to glorious places like this. And that wasn't the point of the video at all. But the crew were rude. They were frankly rude, and that's nothing to do with flying or having a job on an airline. That's just, you know, basic manners. I'm always pleasant to people no matter how tired I am. So let's have a look at the comments. You seem far more genuine and honest, but I'd give it a go, as you could call it Karen's Moments. Karen's Moments, yeah, good old Karen. Matt's Planet channel has grown from posting regular videos. I think he's aiming for 1 a week, and it seems to have worked for him. Yeah, you see, frequency. Somebody else said that to me as well, about frequency. Apparently, if you launch 1 video a week, YouTube gets used to that. And what it then starts doing is it then starts pushing your videos out to a wider audience. And invariably, Danny, in RS for the win, you know, you can read that one of 2 ways, I think. One is that the algorithm gets used to seeing 1 a week, so it pushes you out to a wider audience, and that will inevitably find some people like yourself, Danny. Like you said, I think you said a few weeks ago to me that you'd only just discovered the channel by chance, and it does make me think how many other people are just waiting to discover this channel by chance. Because yes, you do lose some subscribers along the way, and in the early days that was quite downheartening, because as you know from my channel, I don't just do flights, I do hotels and I do cars and all the rest of it. Anything to do with travel, that's the point of the channel. But I think you get over that now, because at the end of the day, one of the most popular videos that I did, and it's always surprising, it always surprises me when I think, how did I get that? How did I actually get that video to be successful? And the reality is that the way it's successful is, you say something in the title, in the sort of the thumbnail, which just seems to grab people's attention. So 24 hours in Benidorm, which was the last video I did, when I looked the other day, it had nearly 2,000 views in 2 weeks, and that's unusual for me. So normally I get a few hundred on every video. Now the Benidorm video was upbeat. I liked Benidorm. I thought it was a great place to visit. I was only there for 24 hours as a taster, but I'll go back. And I think that's driven a lot more subscribers to the channel. It really has. It's brought a few more subscribers over the last fortnight. But equally, it's brought a lot of views as well. 2,000, as I say, in about 2 weeks. And that's unusual when you think, you know, over the last few videos before that, it had all been flying. So it's strange. It's strange. But I think, yeah, I think the more videos you do, the more the algorithm gets used to a video and it thinks, oh, he's pushed another video out. I'll broadcast that to a wider vision. And one of the things that YouTube tells you, there's loads of statistics in the background with YouTube, but one of the things I'm quite interested in is the engagement rate and the click-through rate. So it's the click-through rate is basically, in a nutshell, it's the percentage of people who click your video as they see your thumbnail. And the Benidorm video was around 10%, which is unusual, which is quite high by any measure. Even the experienced, even the vloggers with like the 1 million, 2 million subscribers would tell you that a 10% click-through rate is really high. It's very unusual. You're normally around 5%. So, you know, the Benidorm video took me by surprise, but people seem to want to watch it. And looking at the viewing time, it's had, you know, people were watching it for longer than a lot of the other videos that I've done. Maybe Benidorm is just that mass market appeal. Maybe I need to do more videos like that. It's just food for thought. It's just food for thought, that's all. I heard your channel and Matt's Planet through the videos on gold cards. It's Joe, by the way. Oh, of course, yeah, you said that to me, Joe. You did. I remember you saying that, yeah, through the gold card video. That's right, because I did a video on the benefits of gold, which I'll admit to you all at the moment, I'm not gold. I'm not BA gold. I got busted down to silver because I didn't do enough flying last year. But don't worry, folks, in the next 2 weeks I'll be back to gold again. So yeah, Matt's Planet. Yeah, Matt's Planet is good. I like his channel. You see, this is the other thing, Joe, right, is the thing with Matt's Planet is what I like personally is the detail. And a few of you have said before, you like the detail that I put into the videos. But some people don't. Some people say it's boring and there's too much detail in some videos. Not of mine. Generally, when you read the feedback on some videos, people say you've put too much detail in, there's too much irrelevant stuff. All I want to see is the planes, all I want to see is the interiors and the exteriors and the liveries and all that. So it's a bit of a fine balance, that. But I do agree with you, Joe. I think the thing I like about Matt's channel, that Matt's World, is that Matt's Planet rather, is that he does put an awful lot of detail into his videos, doesn't he? And if you look at the one that sticks out in my mind of Matt's Planet, is the one where he told you how to get Star Alliance Gold. And I kicked myself, because that's exactly how I got Star Alliance Gold. And I should have made a video about it, because that was one of his more popular videos, just looking purely from a view count perspective. So you never know. It's all about exploration. It's all about finding out what works and what doesn't. But the one that I really didn't expect to work that well was Matt's Planet. Well, the one I didn't expect to work that well was Benidorm, and yet it just did. It's all very strange, But anyway, so back to today's video. I think I'm just going to call it a day there, folks, because as you can see, it's fairly quiet at the moment. We are in that bizarre window between the school holidays ending and the old retired folks coming down here in October. So it is fairly quiet. However, do join me on Sunday evening if you can. Sunday evening at 8 p.m. Set a reminder in your diaries. You don't even need to do that. Just go along to my YouTube video, click on lives, and it's there. You just need to click to set a reminder. Because Sunday evenings here are very, very busy. They are very busy indeed, with both arriving and departing aircraft. Hopefully it'll be runway 7, which is the runway we're looking at this morning. That's the most common runway here. It's only when the winds change massively they take the approach from across around the mountain there. So do join me Sunday evening if you can. That would be really great. Don't forget, if you want to join live and be part of the video and chat live with me, you are very, very welcome to do that. Just drop a note in the comments below and let me know, and I'll send you the link. It's a very easy, quick web link, and all you do is you click on the link, click join, and you will appear on my video live. So very welcome to do that. But again, folks, it's a lovely day. I think I'm going to go get a beer now. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Why not? I'm going to park the car up somewhere, grab a beer, and I'll see you all on Sunday evening. So till then, friends, have a great week, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.